3 bold predictions for Saints in Week 2 against Cowboys. The New Orleans Saints take on a major test in Week 2, hitting the road to play the Dallas Cowboys. Let's make a few bold predictions for the game. The schedule has quickly heated up for the New Orleans Saints. After starting the year with the Carolina Panthers, who were the worst 2 in the league last season, New Orleans is preparing to play the Dallas Cowboys, a team that was 12-5 last season. To make things even tougher for the Saints, the game against Dallas on Sunday is a road game. Even after a dominant Week 1 win, New Orleans is an underdog for a reason. People aren't picking the Saints to win this game, but everyone is interested to see just how competitive it will be. That just gives the team another opportunity to put the NFL on notice. Picking New Orleans to win would certainly be a bold prediction. Let's take a look at some other bold predictions for Sunday's game. 3. Micah Parsons won't record a sack against the Saints. The deciding factor of this game very well could be how New Orleans' young offensive line holds up against Dallas' elite pass rush. Rookie left tackle Talise Fuaga will be starting the second game of his career, and Trevor Penning will be playing just his second game at right tackle. They'll be tasked with slowing down Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. This definitely seems like a recipe for disaster, and the Saints understand that. That's why they will likely do everything possible to negate the pass rush. From establishing the run, to screens and draws, and quick passes, the play calling should contribute to Parsons leaving this game without a sack. 2. Saints won't have any turnovers. New Orleans' offense did a tremendous job of protecting the football in Week 1. The team's only turnover against the Panthers came on a muffed punt. With the defense taking the ball away 3 times, the Saints were set up for victory by winning the turnover battle. On Sunday, New Orleans plays a ball-hawking defense that's a lot like the Saints' defense. Last season, the Cowboys recorded at least 1 interception in all but 4 games, that includes 5 games with more than 1 interception. They got right back to that takeaway culture in Week 1, with Trayvon Diggs recording an interception. Dallas will definitely try to keep things rolling, but the Saints will play smart and protect the ball. 1. Saints will win. As previously stated, picking New Orleans is a bold prediction, but the Saints can definitely win this game. No one expected them to win 47-10 against the Panthers, so it's clear no one knows what to expect from the Saints. They have the chance to put the league on notice in Week 2. As good as Dallas is, it isn't just a flawless team that just dominates everyone. Last season, when the Cowboys won 12 games, they struggled to stop the run. Despite winning 33-17 against the Cleveland Browns, Cleveland was still able to run the ball. The Browns rushed the ball 19 times for 93 yards and 1 touchdown. That's 4.9 yards a carry. With Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, and Jamal Williams, and an offensive line of downhill maulers, running the ball is key for this offense. If New Orleans is able to do that on Sunday, the team will have a formula for victory. There was the snap where Micah Parsons ran unblocked from the left edge, and then the snap when he shed multiple blockers en route to a sack of Deshaun Watson. There was the snap when Parsons lined up from the right and engaged then disengaged with backup left tackle James Hudson III en route to chasing Watson down in the backfield. And then the snap where Parsons collided with Watson just as he threw a pass that would land short of its intended receiver, Amari Cooper. Only after these 4 pressures did the Cowboys and Cleveland Browns head to the locker room at halftime, the Browns trailing by 17 as they managed just 1 first down. In Dallas' 33-17 Week 1 win at Cleveland, Parsons ultimately generated 9 pressures and 1 sack on Watson, with a 0.69 second get-off, per NFL Next Gen Stats, whose data considers 0.88 seconds average. In short, Parsons dominated the game. Micah Parsons gets first sack of year at end of Q1 versus Deshaun Watson. And thus fans asked, when, and from whom, will the 2020 first-rounders payday come? Parsons is entering the fourth year of his rookie deal, the final cheap year before his fifth-year option raises his salary by a multiple greater than 7. Afterward, the two-time All-Pro is expected to earn a hefty contract that likely resets the edge rusher market. But the Cowboys complicated that plan in recent weeks as they signed 2 players to top-of-market deals or close. Will the Cowboys be able to pay Parsons after awarding receiver CeeDee Lamb an extension worth $34 million a year and quarterback Dak Prescott a deal averaging a whopping $60 million? Yahoo Sports asked league sources how they'd handle the balancing act. Team owner Jerry Jones fielded a question about his pocketbook's future, too, during his Tuesday radio interview with Dallas 105.3 The Fan. "Is Micah next?" the radio host asked. "Is he up now?" Jones laughed. "Obviously, he had a great game out there Sunday and he's an integral part of our team's future," Jones said. "We'll see where we go." Cowboys' best road to extending Parsons. 2 league executives and a third source who has negotiated top-of-market NFL contracts agreed, the salary cap will not prevent the Cowboys from signing Parsons to a mammoth second contract. Teams run into financial barriers more often due to cash than cap considerations, and the Cowboys have the cash flow necessary to fund Parsons' extension. So the question is not whether extending Parsons is possible, but whether extending him is preferable, and if so, in what structure. Sources agreed that paying Parsons anything below market value is unrealistic at this point. Entering the 2023 season, the San Francisco 49ers awarded Nick Bosa an extension averaging $34 million a year with $122.5 million guaranteed. Consider the floor for Parsons' deal just above that. The sooner he's paid, the less his employer will have to adjust for market inflation. Is there a scenario in which the Cowboys shouldn't pay Parsons? Parsons' on-field play says pay him. Even as his production has proven inconsistent between games and scheme matchups, and dipped in the playoffs, his output ranked among the league's best defenders last season. Parsons generated the most pressures, 99, and second highest pressure rate, 21.4%, among players who rushed the passer at least 300 times, per Next Gen Stats. Parsons' speed off the line contributed heavily to that as his 2.31 second time to pressure paced the entire league. Only 2 defenders last season generated at least 50 quick pressures, or pressures within the first 2.5 seconds of a pass play. Parsons' 62 separated him from Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett's 54. Pro Football Focus has graded Parsons as the second-best edge defender each of the past 2 years. He said Sunday in the post-game locker room that he'll focus on his play more than his contract. "I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, keep working, keep trying to be the best player I can be," Parsons said. "Keep trying to win championships and then they'll probably throw me a little something on the side." That mindset is something an NFC executive said they'd be asking themselves before signing Parsons to that deal, even in light of his massive impact. "Do you trust Micah?" the executive, who has negotiated a top defender's deal before, said. "I think that's a question everybody always asks before you do any of these major deals. What happens to the player once they are paid? You don't always have to pay, only leaders, but it's also one of those things the locker room knows. So if you pay the wrong guy in the locker room, it's really hard to come back from." If the Cowboys do award Parsons a deal worth at least $35 million per year, signing him before 2025 gives them a year at $21 million, via the 5th-year option on his rookie deal, to offset some of their annual cost. An AFC executive emphasized the importance to team culture of paying impactful players, particularly at premium positions which teams typically view as quarterback, edge rusher, left tackle and receiver. "Start there," the executive said, "then draft well and make future trade-offs." The Cowboys appear to have demonstrated that strategy this offseason, including on their offensive line, letting their starting center and left tackle walk in cost-saving measures before starting in their place rookies who fared better than expectation in Week 1. Will they continue that trend to lock up Parsons? What does Jerry Jones' history tell us? Where logic ends, emotion enters. Emotion can't be undervalued as a scale-tipping factor when considering the Cowboys' strategic moves. Sure, Prescott's contract has ample logical backing. The Cowboys' ninth-year starter finished second in MVP voting last season as he led the league in passing touchdowns and led his team to a 12-5 record for the third straight year. The top knock on Prescott is whether he can elevate his surrounding cast in postseason games as Dallas' NFC title game and Super Bowl drought approaches its 3-decade mark. The Cowboys ultimately decided not only is Prescott one of the better quarterbacks not named Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson in the NFL, but also he's light years ahead of any possible replacements. And yet, Jones made clear to Prescott and to reporters that this deal was emotional for him. The team owner and general manager turns 82 next month. "I hope Dak is our quarterback for the rest of my time," Jones said hours after striking a deal. "We're going to be able to get players around him that give us a chance to compete for a Super Bowl. He was our best chance of getting one." Jerry Jones says Dak negotiations weren't about belief in QB. They were about cost at which Cowboys felt confident building around Dak. Will the Cowboys view Parsons as similarly integral to their best chance at hoisting a Lombardi trophy? Parsons voiced belief this week that his next deal will come in Dallas. "A lot of fans are worried about me," Parsons said on his Bleacher Report show, The Edge. "I know I'm going to be a Cowboy. There's nothing like Cowboy Nation. The love is very mutual." Parsons added that he's focused right now on winning before earning. "The contract is not really what I'm worried about," he said. "If the contract, something like that happens furthermore, then that happens. But right now we're focused on trying to be legendary, be great and bring championships back to Dallas because that's what the most important thing is."